Hello everybody, Yorgi here, and today I'm going to give you a little gear tour, a little setup tour about how I record my songs and everything music related. Let's go! So first of all, we are going to start with the star of the show, the microphone. And you all know what this is, you can all see what this is, I don't even need to say the name, but it's the SM7b from Shure. Of course it is. This microphone, I mean, what even can I still say about it? Everyone and their grandma are already using this one. Every podcast, every voiceover, every studio in the world are using these microphones. Now, this is such a great microphone. I cannot recommend it enough. It is one of the top and one of the best studio microphones in the world for a reason, and it has been for so long for a reason. So definitely, if you have not checked these microphones out or have not bought one and are considering to buy one, I just cannot recommend these enough. Just get them. If you have the money to spare, get yourself a SM7b. These are amazing. All right. Now, the next piece of gear is already connected to the microphone, and that is the pop filter. And as you can see, this pop filter is from K&M. As you can also see, my microphone does not have a pop filter on it. Why? Because without the pop filter on the microphone, the sound is much more clearer and much more crisp. So that's why I use only a external pop filter in front of it to stop those nasty SMP sounds. Okay, on to the next piece of gear. The next piece of gear we see attached to the microphone, the XLR cables. Now the XLR cables I like to use are from Thomann themselves. These cables are they're called Snake 10s or Snake Pro 10s. If I can find them, I'll flash them on the screen. These are, as I said before, the cables from Thomann themselves, and I've been using them for a long time now, and I can't complain really. Because they're black over here, they're easy to spot because most of the cables, most of the XLRs from the bands I play in are usually gray here. So that's why because they're black, they're easy to spot, which I like. So that's another reason why I like to buy these, because they're easy to spot, they sound great, and they're just a great price and great quality. On to the next piece of gear. To give you a wide shot about my setup, this is basically it. I use a TV screen over there and my laptop to record. So that's basically the entire setup. 2 screens. It's still a work in progress, of course. More screens, bigger screens, and all that stuff. But that's besides the point. On to the actual piece of gear. The actual piece of gear is crammed between the TV and this thing that we'll get to later, is this red thing. You all know what this is because a lot of musicians, I think all the musicians right now will be like, oh, that is a Focusrite. That is correct. That is a Focusrite, and this is actually, funny enough, the first piece of gear that I've ever bought as a musician, because you need an audio interface to be able to record basically anything. If you want to record anything on your computer, then you need an audio interface, and Focusrite is basically the go-to for 90% of the musicians. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm talking about audio interfaces, every musician I've ever talked to is usually always like, oh, Focusrite. So, yeah. If you're wondering, this first piece of gear, I've had this since 2018, 2019, so a fair amount of years, and it still works perfectly. I'm super happy still with it, and this is the Focusrite Solo 3rd Gen 2-in, 2-out. Still works perfectly, as I said before, and yeah, if you're looking for an audio interface, Focusrite, usually your go-to. They're not too expensive, and they have a pretty good quality product. check them out. On to the next piece of gear. Alright, the next piece of gear is the Warm Audio Tone Beast Black Vocal Preamp. The Warm Audio Vocal Preamp is an amazing piece of gear. It's more of a higher end piece of gear, but if you can afford it, I would definitely recommend it because this thing works like you all know these small Triton things, right? So these small Triton things that you usually place in between your cable and the microphone. So like here, those are your small preamps. Well, this is basically the big mama of it. You can do so much with this thing and tweak your sound to your preference. You can make your sound more crisper, warmer, cleaner. This thing is just amazing. I love it, and for the price, the quality is amazing, and I cannot recommend Warm Audio enough. I've been using this thing for a few years now, and it's awesome. Alright, on to the next piece of gear. The next piece of gear that I like to talk about are the headphones, the best friend of the microphone. And the ones I've always used are the one from Beyer Dynamic. These are the DT770 Pro 80 ohms. I've had these for a couple years now too. Still work perfectly fine, and I use them. Well, I always use them. I always use them well when I do anything studio related, anything recording related. These things are very nice. Awesome sound, clear sound, and amazing for editing your audio, recording your audio, and yeah, they're just an amazing piece of hardware. So if you're considering for some studio headphones, consider buying some Beyer Dynamic headphones. These things are great. Alright, on to the next one. Alright, the next thing, I think you all see what it is my recording DAW. What DAW do I use? What program do I use to record everything? Well, since the beginning, since I started music, since I started recording something or anything at all, I've always used Reaper. Reaper is, I think, a musician's best friend, and so many people use Reaper. There are only just a few of my friends that use something else, a few of my bandmates, a few musicians that I know that use something else, but the majority of musicians that I know, that I've talked to, that I've contacted with, are using Reaper, and for good reason. Reaper is a fairly easy to use program, even though on the beginning it has a little bit of a learning curve, but if you just look a little bit on YouTube, ask around, then you'll be learning how to use it in no time. But in general, this thing is easy to use, and you'll learn quickly how to do all kinds of stuff. So that was it for the recording program, and let's move on to the plugins. Alright, plugin wise, I use Howard Benson. So the Joey Sturgis Tones Howard Benson vocal plugin. I've used this for a while now. I got recommended this by my own vocal coach, and I've used it ever since because it's so easy to use, and it's such a nice and easy to use vocal plugin. The quality of it is nice. You can do so much with it. You have your vocals, your gain, compression, your extra distortion. You have your equalizer, multiplier, your width, echo, reverb, output. You have all that good stuff, all that fun stuff that you can tweak that to your liking. You have a bunch of, so if you check here, you have a bunch of presets that come with it. You have collaborator presets, you have community presets. You can make your own preset. All good and fun times with this one. So if you're looking for a plugin for vocals, definitely check out Joey Sturgis Tones Howard Benson vocals. Definitely recommend this one. Another plugin that I recommend for vocals, it's not necessary, but it's a fun extra to use is the Howard Benson Vocal Multiplier. Another one of Howard Benson's cool plugins from Joey Sturgis. This multiplier, if you're in need of some extra oomph, some extra layering, just something extra, then this thing can help you out very much. This thing can give you some extra layers in your vocals to give it this extra fullness. Again, you can tweak so much pitch, tone, all this stuff. Just an amazing tool. So yeah, that's all the plugins that I use right now. Alright, so editing wise, I usually edit my stuff on either my phone or my laptop, and I use two applications. So on my phone, I usually use YouCut. I'll place it right here. It's again another easy to use phone application, straightforward, easy to edit, doesn't lag, doesn't do any weird stuff. It just does what it needs to do, and that's just cutting, doing some fun editing, not too much, not too little, just what needs to be done. Definitely recommend that one. The second application I use on my phone or on my PC, that is CapCut. I think a lot of people have heard of CapCut. It's a very popular app, and it can do a lot. Even without like buying the premium or pro version or whatever, that application can still do so much. CapCut can still do a lot. So if you're looking for like a little extra, if you just want to edit your video and just want it straightforward, not too much frizzles or not too much extras, then YouCut is the way to go. If you want more extra and more finesse, then I would recommend CapCut, definitely. And last, there was one plugin that I didn't talk about, which was the Mantra plugin. It's a fairly recent plugin that came out for vocals, but I have not had the chance to either try it out or not try it out enough to give you any sort of feedback yet. So it's definitely one that I want to check out, or that I want to try out with covers or anything vocal related. So if you want to see a video about that, about like making maybe doing a cover or a playthrough or just fucking around with it, then let me know. Comment below. Let me know if you're interested to see a video where I try different plugins and see how they sound, or if you want to see a video about more gear or about what exactly each individual gear does, a more in-depth video about the pieces of gear, then let me know too. We can definitely do that too. Or just anything. If you want to see any more covers or playthroughs or any behind the scenes, anything that you want, comment it all below. Drop a like and consider subscribing. This is a first video that is not a cover, so I'm very excited to see how this one does. That was all. So see you in the next video. Bye.